Hi everyone, and welcome back to another unboxing video. Bit of a change from the normal because I've actually been buying quite a few plants, and as I mentioned in the last new editions, I generally buy seed. But anywho, some interesting plants come up, and I thought, well, why not? I'll treat myself to a couple. Now, a little bit of a backstory here. So you will have seen in the last new editions video that I bought a Sulco Rabutia pink lemonade, and I mentioned in the video that the seller was kind enough to put in a gift, which was the variegated string of peas or string of pearls, the Senecio, and I mentioned that I would send them a thank you note, which I did. So it turns out that the next plant that I purchased was also from the same seller, and so that sale was sort of in progress and about to be shipped out at around the same time that I was sending the thank you note. And I got a response back from the seller saying, thank you for the message and things like that, but I've got some good news for you and I've got some bad news. And I thought, oh my goodness, what's happened? Maybe the plant that I bought wasn't up to standard or something like that. I mean, it's a living product, so any number of things could happen. Anyway, so he went on to say that the bad news was that I got sent the wrong plant the week before, which was the Sulco Rabutia pink lemonade. So I was a bit like, oh, well, that's disappointing. But it also made sense because you might have heard my surprise, we will have heard my surprise in the video, in that the plant was much bigger than I'd anticipated. In saying that, it's not uncommon for plant sellers to put representations or examples of what the plant is, may or may not look like. So I didn't think too much of it. I thought, okay, he's perhaps got a few of them, and that was just a sample picture. So it turns out that that's the plant. I mean, it is a Sulco Rabutia, but it's not the pink lemonade. Anyways, so he then went on to say that the good news was that he has included the correct plant in this order here, along with the other plant that I purchased. And this was at no charge at all, which I thought was incredibly kind of the seller. And look, in all honesty, the seller could have said nothing, and it would have been potentially a few months or more before I realised when the Sulco Rabutia that I got flowered and doesn't look the same. But I really appreciate their honesty and also the efforts that they went to rectify the mishap. And that's all it was just a mishap. And you know what, these things happen. But I honestly couldn't think of somebody handling a situation any better. It was just absolutely perfect. So I'm incredibly grateful to this particular seller. So far as that, I'm going to put a link to their eBay in the description below. They have some amazing plants, and so I recommend them. And I just think that when you have a good customer service experience, I think you should say something about it. Everyone's so quick to jump to complaining when things don't go right. But when they do go right, very few people say things. So I always think if you have a good experience or you're happy with something, say something about it and spread some positivity. Anyways, enough of that. Let's get on to unboxing. I'll show you the plant that I purchased, and hopefully the pink lemonade's in here as well. So let's have a look. Just get rid of this paper. Okie dokie, so this guy here, make sure we're in, oh, he's spiky. Okay, we have here, this should be the Sulco Rabutia pink lemonade, packaged well, just the same as the last parcel was packaged exceptionally well. Also, okay, this one is rather prickly, so I can't say that I'm a fan of that. I'm sorry, camera's pointed the wrong way and I can't actually see. There we go. Okay, so this guy is a little smaller than the first plant, but this is you know, more so the size that that I was expecting. I'm just going to take that little bit of whatever that was off. As you can see here, absolutely beautiful again. Little to no marks, actually there aren't any marks, and a nice, good, healthy root system as well, so I'm happy with that. Taproot's not as pronounced on this one as it was on the other one, and in case you're wondering, the other plant was a Sulcorabutia albacissima or something along those lines. Big pink flowers, beautiful, and I love pink flowers, so I'm very, very happy. Nice little pup there. I'll graft that guy there. Most likely to Trichoceros pachinoi, but if I've got a spare piece of Spacianus or Cereus lying around, I'll use that in preference. Absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful plant. A lot more spines though. This guy's very, very prickly. I wouldn't call him unfriendly, but I think if you got on the wrong side of him or her, you're going to know about it. Nice little label as well, which is great. Put that there. And let's get on to the next one that I ordered. I've certainly gone to great lengths to package the plant well, which is, or plants plural, which is greatly appreciated. You want to make sure things end up arriving safely, and with the postal service you never know what's how rough they're going to be, but here we are. This is the main attraction, and this plant's probably not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but I've wanted one of these for quite some time. Okie dokie. Here we are. So, I don't know if you can see, I'm just trying to get the camera to focus. This here is an Echinopsis, however you'd like to describe it, and the cultivar is chocolate. I don't know where chocolate comes from. It's more of a purple green than a chocolate colour. And it doesn't actually look like chocolate either, but here it is. It's I think it's incredible looking. It's a mutant, so you know, you're probably thinking, if we're thinking mutants, you know, something like a Mammillaria boccasana Fred is in the same category as this. This isn't a chimera, but that I know of, but it does have that sort of chimera look, which is that mutated appearance, which is not everyone's cup of tea. I understand that, but for me, I like things that are a little more on the unusual side, just as much as I like the regular cacti as well. One of my favourite cacti of all time is one of the more common ones. It's Cactus Eublemaniana, I think it's called, and it's as common as anything. It's a garden cactus, but I absolutely adore it. Right up to something like this, which is a very, very unusual looking plant. Now, this plant was incredibly expensive for the size of it. It's not a large plant, so me and a friend of mine, we were both interested in this plant, and we knew it was going to go for a lot of money, so we've actually gone halves, and we'll share this plant. So he'll come over probably next week, and we will actually, this is going to sound horrific, we'll actually cut this plant up, and we'll go ahead and we'll graft all the pieces so that we can propagate it, and we'll each have a piece each. I mean, this is incredibly healthy as well. Root system isn't incredibly impressive, but that's okay. It would still grow just fine on its own roots. I have no doubts about that at all. But we'll graft it because I don't have any experience in growing this particular cactus, and as far as I know, my friend doesn't either. So we'll graft it until we can build some numbers, and then go ahead, grow it on its own roots, and that way, if we mess up, it's not the end of the world. So for the potting mix, the Sulco Rebutia, I will be putting into the same mix that we did the previous Sulco Rebutia, which we thought was pink lemonade. Well, I did. So I'll use the same mix, which is still a reasonable amount in the tub, and it's just here. I don't know if you can see that. Just basically lots and lots of gravel, a little bit of organic matter. As for the Echinopsis or Echinopsis chocolate, this little weird guy here, then I'll just pot him up in straight potting soil. He's not going to be watered. I just need something to keep him happy until next week when we chop him up. Anyways, everyone, that's it for this video. I hope you found it interesting, and if you have any questions or comments, always like hearing from you guys. I don't always have the time to write back to everyone, but I do try my best. Alright everyone, thanks for watching, and as always, happy gardening. Bye!